Have you ever been awake at 3 a.m., staring at the ceiling, feeling that quiet ache inside, that haunting question, what am I doing with my life? No notifications, no noise, just you and the ticking clock. That moment when everything goes silent and you're forced to face yourself. That's what the philosopher Søren Kierkegaard called the midnight hour. But what exactly is this midnight he's talking about? And why did he believe it's the most important moment of your life? Let's find out. Søren Kierkegaard lived in Denmark in the 1800s, a man torn between faith, doubt, and the search for meaning. He saw people living comfortable lives, chasing pleasure, money, and social approval. But deep down, he sensed something missing. He wrote that many people live as if asleep, avoiding the truth of who they are. But one day, he said, midnight comes for everyone. It's that moment when time runs out, when all masks fall off, and you must answer one question: who am I when no one is watching? In Kierkegaard's writings, especially Either or and the concept of anxiety, the midnight hour is not about the time on your clock. It's a spiritual metaphor. It represents that turning point when you can no longer hide behind distractions or routine, when all your pleasures, your habits, your social masks crumble, and what's left is you, alone before the truth. It's that moment of existential crisis, the moment that demands a choice. Will you keep running, or will you face yourself and begin again with purpose, faith, and authenticity? Kierkegaard said there are two ways most people live: the aesthetic life, chasing pleasure, excitement, and distractions, and the ethical life, choosing commitment, responsibility, and meaning. The aesthetic person fears boredom more than anything. They keep moving, keep consuming, keep pretending, but eventually time catches up, and that's the midnight hour, when the party ends, when the laughter fades, and the silence forces you to ask, what now? That's when the illusion breaks. You realize that the endless chase for pleasure doesn't fill the emptiness inside, and in that stillness, despair creeps in. But Kierkegaard believed that this despair isn't the end, it's the beginning. Most of us fear despair, but Kierkegaard saw it as a doorway. He said, despair is the sickness unto death, but it is also the sign that you have a self. In other words, when you finally feel despair, it means you've stopped running. You've met your true self, not your social identity, not your job title, not your reputation, but you, in your raw, honest being. And at that moment, you have a choice: stay in despair or take the leap of faith. Kierkegaard said faith isn't about blind belief. It's about choosing meaning even when the world feels uncertain. At midnight, when everything collapses, faith means saying, I will live with purpose, even if I don't have all the answers. That's the leap. It's terrifying, but it's also the moment of freedom, when you stop being a shadow of what others expect and start being a self before God or before your own conscience. Maybe right now, you're in your own midnight hour. Maybe things you once thought mattered don't. That's not failure. That's your soul waking up. Kierkegaard believed the midnight hour isn't the end of your story. It's the moment your real life begins. So when that silence comes again, when the world fades and only your thoughts remain, don't run. Listen, because that's where truth whispers. This is who you are. What will you do next?